Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. As you can see, my master rating is exceedingly low right now. Apparently, I just have not been playing a lot of ranked games. It certainly has been a little while since I played ranked. Been playing mostly like casual match, not had a chance to record. But I thought I'd get in a few games today. I ended up picking up another platinum ticket in the casual match arena, so like why not? Let's use it, I guess. And I'm queuing for base plus 5 and base plus 8, but without contributing to platinum unit cards. As I mentioned, I think in the last episode, if they ever do add a feature to like let you use the bonus units in like the base plus 5 queue, then I might do that. Or if they just change. Apparently the bonus unit stuff used to make more sense in an old version of Ladder, where like you got better rewards for playing in sets with more units, and so it was like, all right, a bonus, higher stakes for this match. Oops, sorry about that. But these days, it really doesn't make much sense to me to like have two queues, like rather than just saying, here's the time controls I'm willing to play at, here's the number of units I'm willing to play at. And like, okay, sure, you could make it like a 6x8 grid or 6x7 or whatever. 7x7? Yeah, 7x7 grid of like all the controls and speeds you're willing to play at, but that seems pretty overwhelming. I think it would be perfectly reasonable to just like have, am I willing to play with 6 units ever? Yes, no. Am I willing to play at 90 seconds ever? Yes, no. And like, okay, it's a little bit hard then to say, well, I could play some 90-second base plus 11, or I could play some like 12-second base plus 5, but I don't want to pay 12-second base plus 11. But I think that that's like an okay concession to make. It's already like, you know, base plus 8 is a very wide number of units you might run into. Hello, could I get a match, please? What is everyone doing right now? There's 5 games going on right now, at least. Maybe more. Well, I guess let's just see what... There we go. Flabagazda. I think I played this person somewhat recently. I don't remember how the game went. This looks red-green. Like Bloodphage Protoplasm. And Tarsier. It would be really nice to like get chieftains in, but I think it might be like the protoplasm stuff might just be too high tempo for that. I guess if you skipped red entirely and went blue-green, maybe you could go for Zatron and chieftains. Because you get access to synthesizer that way. As player 1, that might be the best thing for me to do, since it's not very convenient for me to get out a Blast Forge this turn. Or to get out, like, any access to green anytime soon, right? So I think I might actually go for just, like, Steel Splitters. Maybe I'll actually have enough of economy to mix in red with all this stuff, but I don't think so. Chieftains are pretty expensive. And I'll have enough green that I'll want to spend a lot of it on Gauss cannons. So I think I'm just going to go Conduit or Blast Forge on 3 into Synthesizer on 4. I expect him to go Drone Animus here, but no, okay, sure, Drone Conduit. That makes sense if you want to go for Protoplasms anyway, right? So I think the player 2 build is red. Player 1, I think, has a pretty tough time playing that, and so I'm going to try to... God dang it, I turned this back on because of there was an event going on with some unit that I had never seen before and I wanted to see how it worked. Yeah, so like Zatron and Chieftains and Gauss stuff? The question is, do I want a third Conduit right now, or do I want another drone? I think I'll take a Conduit, and then I can like... No, I think I need more drones for this Zatron thing. Zatron's prompt, right? Yeah. It might be a little bit too early to get the Zatron. Also, this should maybe be a wall. That lets me get out another drone, and it means I'm not attacking as much, but I can get out another drone, which I think is fine. And I have so much green that I don't think I want to transition into red as a way to produce attackers. I'm just going to produce like green-blue attackers with these two for my defense. Moderate economical. Well, not really. My economy is about the same as my opponent. The difference is I have access to blue, basically. Ugh, $1 short here. I would have liked to be able to build something useful this turn. I think I should build a wall? Obviously it's not useful for quite a while, but it's a way to spend my blue. Although yeah, it feels really dumb. Next turn I can get like Steel Splitter, Gauss Cannon, whereas if I cut this I can get Steel Splitter and 2 Gauss Cannons. I don't know, it doesn't seem that appealing. I'm just gonna get the wall. Preemptive defense is fine with me, I guess. Just as like, it let me turn $5 into 3 defense. Which is better than engineers, obviously. But I think the wall is just not good. I think I should have just done something else, but I don't know what. Actually, the wall was fine, because this turn I'm going to not absorb onto Zatron. And so I want to lose wall onto wall to let Zatron heal some more. And so having this wall now lets me build the Steel Splitter on this turn, which is kind of nice. Okay, so he gets the Zatron also. Sure. Good play. No. Steel Splitter, Gauss. It's probably not Chieftain time yet. And I don't think I need another Blast Forge. I can just produce Gauss Cannons to spend all my gold. So I don't need like another tech building. Wow, another Animus. I guess that's sort of several drones for him, basically, is what this is. I can do this. Right, obviously I don't want to lose a Zatron. Just checking to see if I do this. So what this tells me is that I actually have to defend onto Zatron this turn. So the wall is sort of silly. Let's get a Chieftain. And then defend onto the Zatron. Yeah, it seems like it's probably close enough to being Chieftain time here. So I would prefer not to block on the Zatron, as I have mentioned. This way I'm still having to block on the Zatron. But I guess I can just get out another steel, or do something like this. If he attacks for absolutely everything, I still have to block with the Zatron. But if he holds back the Rhino, and in fact he has to lose the Rhino. So this turn I can lose NG Wall, letting the Zatron heal. And he's absorbing a lot less because he doesn't have access to walls, and he's not able to alternate between Zatron and wall like I am. His Zatron is absorbing for 4 every turn. Mine is absorbing for 8 some turns, and Wall is absorbing for 2 some turns. So I'm absorbing on average 6. Sort of. He's losing 3 attack here, so he's really only attacking for 12. So I can just do this. Build another Chieftain. Gauss Engineer? In fact, do this. No, if I do this, he might be tempted to lose only 2 Rhinos. Lose his own Zatron to absorb onto Rhino. And then breach me for Exact. Is that a good idea for him? It doesn't seem very good. I don't think he could defend at that point. So I think that this is an okay gambit to offer. He loses at least 2 attack. Has 13. If he attacks with everything and loses Zatron, I don't think he can do that. So I'll just save the green by holding a drone instead of force fielding. And soon I'll have chieftains that I want to defend with. Yeah, I mean, okay, go ahead, I guess, if that's what you're gonna do. Good luck defending, question mark? Okay, should be exciting. So he has to lose at least 2 attack here. And isn't he like about out of rhinos? Maybe I miscalculated and he actually can do this. Was it too greedy to try to hang on to some green? I don't know, like look at him. What? Look at him having to defend. It's not very comfortable for him. Again, here he's losing at least 2 rhinos, so attacking for 16. I have 2 walls left. I feel like he needed the Zatron more than I did because of my chieftains. But I don't know. Maybe he's doing okay. The Blast Forge seems way off. Like, I don't know. I guess he's out of rhinos, so he needs to do something to spend his tech. Fine. Here he's losing 2 attackers. I guess he could lose just 1. I guess what that means is I don't need to force field. I could hold a drone instead. He's attacking for only 14, which is 7, 10, 13. 7, 10, 12. So actually force field is probably better. Anyway, he has to do something to spend his tech, and I think that a Blast Forge is fine. I guess he has 4 more drones than it looks like, right? Because of his blood phages. I was thinking he was sort of overdoing it by committing to more tech, but he kind of has to. Ooh, it's a little awkward. Should have just held the drone, apparently. So he's losing here 1 attacker, probably 2. Anyway, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I was surprised to see him take the gambit, but I don't yet know that he was wrong. That protoplasm's a big deal. He can breach me for a lot of drones. Like, I could do this, but it doesn't actually defend, so I guess I'm just saying come on in. My attackers can withstand being breached. Can yours? Shouldn't he go after my drones? I don't know. Hard to say. Because the drones can turn into force fields. They're amazing. Yeah, I mean, I see where he's coming from. Like, he kind of has to do this, but I don't see it leading to success for him, is what I'm getting at. Should I build these force fields? Turning each drone into 2 health. I guess that's a better deal than just building steel splitters, right? Or Gauss cannons or something, which I can't do, so... I'm not sure what I should kill when I breach, by the way. I guess I'm... not breaching? Fair enough. Oh man, he's actually holding. That's outstanding. I thought I had him. I thought I was going to get through at least once and get to these Tarsiers. That was pretty cool. I guess I just really underestimated how much money he had because of the blood phages. Like, I knew that it was 4 drones, sort of, because he wasn't spending the red on anything else. I wonder if I could have somehow snuck in 1 more chieftain, like, on this turn? No, I clearly can't. Yeah, okay. Well, I wonder if some of these steel splitters had just been Gauss cannons? No, because I needed all the green I had as well. I couldn't afford to waste blue. Huh. That protoplasm at the end really made a big difference, I think. And it's the kind of play you can easily miss when you've been playing a set for a while. You just sort of like forget that there's these units in it you haven't been using in forever. Yeah. Well, cool. Well played, for sure. I'm not going to bother going back to analyze like whether if I had not offered the Zatron Gambit, I would win. Just because it's like a super complicated thing and I wouldn't really get a satisfactory answer anyway. So the only offensive unit here is a Steri Cannon. Everything else is more defensive. And there's not any really like big absorbers, but you might still get away with 3rd Engineer to go Asteres. No, probably not. I was thinking like the extra defense in the set might justify that, but you'd really just like to get more Asteres sooner, and I think building up drones and conduits is an important part of that. The other thing we will see this game, I think, is an Animus, right? We want to go red-green for the Ossifieds and Sentinels. But I don't think we want the Animus right away. I think we want to build up some more green and some more drones. We can't really spend the red on anything yet. Like, you could build 1 Ossified drone and 1 Tarsier or something, and then spend a bunch of red on Ossified drones, but do you really want that? Like, you could do it now. But we're not really threatening Asteri anytime soon, right? He's going like 12 drones. What is this about? Like Tarsiers and Sentinels, basically? Is he saying you can't get Asteri this game? I don't think that's true. I think Tarsiers and Sentinels are defensive enough for that. So what about this? Still can't get Asteri this turn. Can't really do anything with all this green. I'd rather have some red. Build like a Tarsier, an Ossified. That's 6 and all my red. I have 10 bucks left, with which Drone Conduit seems pretty good. Gets me up to 16 drones and 3 green. You can build the Asteri next turn as the Tarsier comes in. You won't be able to build an Asteri the turn after. But that's not the end of the world. I'm surprised to see him like stop at 12 drones. Maybe he's not stopping at 12. He just really wanted some red this turn and it felt it was worth cutting a drone for it. But I'm not sure what... I don't know. You know, Tarsiers are decent here. Sentinels seem a little early. So I could respond with a Rhino, but then I can't do this with, like... I guess the thing is, the Sentinel does sort of force me to lose an Engineer this turn, because I can't defend yet. And I won't be able to defend the next turn either, so... Actually, if I follow through with my plan of doing this and getting an Asteri, he'll be able to kill, like, a drone? I basically am committing all of my resources for 2 turns to this one thing. It's very inflexible. And it's not that great to get out the Asteri, right? So what if we do something more like this to get out the Rhino? And we just keep floating. Like, this is $1 more. It really stinks that he's making me do this. But I think it's okay to just get a little bit less green. And this is sort of awkward for him to defend too. He doesn't really want to build a Rhino, and I threaten to attack him. So, I don't know, maybe it's alright. I'm not sure when I'm getting all these extra conduits in, though, is the thing. I mean, like, pretty soon, we're spending most of our red this game on ossified drones, not on attackers, and that's free. So I have a ton of extra money sort of lying around, right? That, that I can use on, like, conduits and stuff, basically, right? Tarsier, conduit, something like this? Probably better get an engineer out rather than another drone, right? He's threatening to attack for a fair bit. And this way I'll be able to build Asteries every turn for a while, I think. Unless I have to defend a bit more than it looks like. I can even afford 1 force field in there if I have to, but I shouldn't have to because I'll be able to start defending with ossifieds pretty soon. Maybe. He obviously attacks with the Sentinels here. And now we see whether Asteri outvalues Sentinel or not, because he seems to not be getting Asteries is his plan. That's why he's got so few drones. He's going to build like Tarsier Sentinel every turn. Most turns this game, I guess, is his plan. And I'm going to see if the Ossifieds plus the Asteries can outdo that. And I'd like to squeeze in a Sentinel eventually, but they're quite expensive. Whereas I'd like to devote most of my drones to Asteri cannons. Sure, seems pretty normal. So right on schedule, the ossified drones are going to start being able to defend. I'm not thrilled about defending with them because it makes it harder to build Asteries if I start losing drones, but the Asteri can defend as well, right? How many times do you get to click it? Wow, it has 16 health. And you get to click it 5 times. Okay. They buffed it in the balance patch that I talked about a while ago. Okay, so this is like the last Asteria we get for a while. Probably ever, if I had to guess. But just mostly because like we're gonna lose some ossifieds, right? And so we won't have enough money for them. But I can build like Sentinel or something. Just Gauss cannons, I don't know. He's like not even built a single absorber, which seems a little weird. I don't understand holding the Sentinel back to quote absorb on. Like, it would get the defense, the full defensive value eventually. And if you had a Rhino, you could also get 1 absorb on this turn. So, I don't know. It's a bit weird. You don't want to defend early on Sentinels. It's a thing you can do if you have to, but not something you want to do. Should I absorb onto Ossified instead of onto Rhino? I'm not sure. Let's try this way. I guess that's fine. I feel like I'm not building enough attack. These Asteri cannons have to carry me, and I don't know that they can, having only gotten 2 of them out. And I'm sacking all my economy for defense uncomfortably early. I guess I should have gotten a Blast Forge at some stage. For walls. I could do this and try to get out another Asteri next turn. Actually, I'm losing 3 drones here. If I do this, I can get out another Asteri, but I don't think I can really defend in that case. Well, I'll have the Rhino. I think the Asteri is too ambitious. I can just spend whatever money I have on Gauss cannons, and that's nearly as good, right? And this way I get to build like a drone, which I can ossify. Well, okay, I guess Gauss cannons are not nearly as good as Asteri, because Asteri comes with 5 health, which is pretty serious. And I just like don't ever have time to get a Blast Forge. On the other hand, he only has 6 permanent attack. These Sentinels are all sort of dying off, and he can't build a lot more new ones. New attackers? I don't know. Maybe it'll be okay. Probably not, though. Yeah, and he has so many drones that he can defend with before I get to his Tarsiers, and he can get to my Asteries, which is like the end of my life. Yeah, I think we lose this one. Yep. That looks like a loss. I don't know, I guess I can build a Sentinel and see what happens. But nothing good. Oh yeah, and he's ossifying now and everything. Oh, that's disgusting. Alright, you got me. So, I don't know, like... what exactly happened was that... like, my red kind of sucked. I just used my Animus as, like, build a bunch of ossified drones, which is not nothing, right? Like, it's really nice to be able to defend with them and not have to be pressured so much as, like, you know, force fielding kind of stinks. But I wasn't able to use that to get out enough Asteries. Like, if I had a few more drones and could get out a third Asterie, maybe that would have been enough pressure, but I don't think so. I think he just, like, with his Sentinels and then eventually an ossified drone, he was getting way more value out of his red than I was. And I wasn't getting enough value out of my green to make up the difference. He also was able to start attacking sooner because he didn't build so many drones and he built cheaper attackers than I did. I was sort of trying to get multiple Asteries, but it never quite worked out. I think that the first ossified drone was probably a mistake. It should have just been a Tarsier. Like, build some Tarsiers and Sentinels and, I don't know, maybe forget about the Asterie completely. Maybe you need a better absorber to make Asterie work. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to try to get one more game in here in this episode, so I don't have a ton of time to look over that one. Obviously, you know, these episodes can be as long as you want. I'm pretty sure YouTube lets you upload videos that are 10 hours long, but that's not a lot of fun to watch, I think. Usually, anyway. Certainly, I don't think you guys would appreciate it. I wouldn't appreciate it if I was, like, watching some video series where, like, every video is 30, 40 minutes long, and then there's one that's 10 hours because, like, the guy just couldn't get a win in. I guess that would be pretty funny, but also kind of frustrating. Live games. I've never seen either of these people. A rank 8 versus... or sorry, a tier 8 versus a master tier player around my rank? There is a heck of a lot going on here, huh? And both players have Gauss Fabs going. I don't understand why all these pixies are lying around. I guess we're still not breaking the absorb barrier because the Tarsiers are not yet done. The Gauss cannons are just finishing up. So it was right to hold these pixies, and I guess these pixies we should have spent now. We're already over the absorb barrier. There's no point saving them. And this defense is sufficiently granular that it's not like you can ever exploit it by holding pixies. So who's winning here? Hard to say. South has more economy, and North has more permanent attack. North also has the ossified drones going, has built a second Animus to pump out Tarsiers faster, I guess, and then transition into Doom drones or something. How are the wall supplies? I guess probably not relevant yet. Yeah. I guess if I had to put money, I would put it on North here. Just sort of Yes, you're a few drones down, but you have a much better organized set of attackers. And you have tech to produce a bunch more. I don't know. These ossified drones... Oh god, the ossified drones. That's another big reason for South to click all the pixies. Is these ossified drones... Like, okay, if you can click a pixie and kill an engineer, it's fine. It's like an even trade, and that's about the best you'll ever get, so you should do it. But if you don't, it's usually not a big deal. But if you could ever click, say, 2 pixies to kill an ossified drone, that's a big deal. Because that's 2 health that you're going to get at some point, whether you click the pixies now or later. And if you kill them now, your opponent gets less gold out of them, right? So I guess it was... I don't know whether South could have clicked enough pixies to kill any ossified drones. I guess right now, if you clicked all of them, you'd just hit a nitrocide. And you could keep all the ossified drones alive. So maybe it's not so crucial. But... I didn't see what it was like last turn. Yeah, the one ossified drone with just 1 red is looking really dumb right now. These Tarsiers mean you're not using the ossified drone, right? Okay, we found a match, thank goodness. 8-man. Is that who we played last time? I don't remember. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do here. I think blue is the answer. I think that Omegas do beat Avenge Rush. Do I want any green to go with it? What if I did this? Is this crazy? I could start building Oride cores so that when I start clicking Omegas, I can deny him the absorb. I think that's actually a non-crazy idea, believe it or not. Oh man, I cracked myself up. Maybe I should have built another engineer last turn actually, so I could build more drones. I don't remember if I had the money for that. I think I did. No, I didn't, because otherwise, if I had, I would have just built a 3rd drone. Okay, do I want another one now to keep droning more? Probably. How many drones do I have right now? 15 if I build all these. I'll have 18, 19 bucks next turn. I'll probably want to build like a steel splitter and an Oride core. That's 7. I'll have 12 left. 2 drones and a blast forge. That seems okay. I don't think I need another engineer. Yeah, okay. I think that's true. I guess we're building a wall, not a steel splitter. Fine. I could build both, but I want these Oride cores, honestly. Like, I would have liked to get out one more Oride core. I could cut this wall, actually, since what he wants to do is attack my Galvani drone anyway. Get out 3 Oride cores so that my first Omega can actually do something, even though it's attacking into another Omega. Oh, here's the thing, though. He's about to build an Omega, which means I really do want some defense for it. But it could be a steel splitter. It doesn't have to be a wall, because he's going to ignore my absorb this turn anyway. Right? Yeah. And now next turn, my Steel Splitter should be able to attack, and I could click the Oride Core, but I'll just click his Galvani instead. I think. Yeah. I'm not sure how this is all gonna go. But observe, like, he has a bunch of wasted attack. And I am going to have less of that. Because I can click my Oride Cores. I don't like holding the drone, obviously. I would love to be able to build, like... I could build another Blast Forge, but can I really Omega plus Wall next turn? I don't think so. Oh, I can hold a Steel Splitter, idiot. I mean, I guess then I'm losing the Steel Splitter, which I don't much want to do. Ah, I see, but this sort of defends against his threat of clicking the Omega, which he's unlikely to do, right? He'll really attack for just 7, which I can absorb quite comfortably with 2 NGs and the... Okay, so I don't really want another Blast Forge that badly. I just want this. And he'll really attack probably for just 6. He's going to click a Galvani. So, can I actually get in on one more Galvani here? I guess it's okay. And let's see if he has trouble building a third Omega right now. He has a little bit of trouble, right? Because I actually do threaten to breach him if he doesn't hold the drone. But I guess that's fine with him, right? Right now we're killing an engineer, right? But I can do this, get $4 instead of costing him 1 engineer, which seems like good value to me. And then I can hold the Steel Splitter, do the same thing again. Buy myself some defensive tempo that way. Okay, cool. These Oride Cores are sort of paying off, I think. They've been acting like 2 drones every turn since I got my second Omega up. There's not many turns, but it's something. He's finally getting an Oride Core now, but it's much too late. That's not really doing anything at the moment. He's never going to want to click it, I don't think. So he loses 3 NGs into this. I obviously can't offer him this breach. I'm just going to hold this to defend against his threat of clicking the Omega again. This engineer might be like too much. But I mean, what else am I going to do with the money? I don't think I'm going to invest in more tech right now. I have enough tech to spend all my money on just Steel Splitters and walls. So, really, clicking everything. I would be okay with breaching you, I think. If you gave me that option. Let's see, he's absorbing 5 for free. 8. I'm trying to figure out if I can, like, exploit him somehow. I have Oride cores, right? I can use them to do that. So this way he keeps just a wall alive, right? Yeah. If I do this, he keeps wall NG alive, so that's not very compelling. But if I do this, he still keeps wall plus NG alive. So, okay, that's not really very interesting. Can I do something weird with like clicking multiple Oride cores somehow? If I attack for 10, he's soaking 5 here and has to find 5 more. He can't actually do that very easily, can he? So what if I did this? Attack for 10. He soaks 5, 8. He has to find 2 more, so he loses wall. Okay, so this exploits him a little bit and lets me get out 1 more engineer. I mean, I don't know. I held back a Steel Splitter in order to make that exploit happen, but that's not like a valueless play. That's defending against the breach threat of him attacking with everything. I think it was a fine trade-off to make. And look at the wall supplies. I'm ahead by a bit, so that's great. I'll take it. Okay, any exploits available here? It doesn't look like it, not with him holding a drone. 5 plus 9 is 14. Yeah. And any fancy tricks I do involve him losing. Why did he? Oh yeah, he held the drone to defend against my threat of attacking with everything, of course. Okay. Galvani supplies, I'm almost out. But I think that's okay. I've been using them to get like 1 health for free. And he hasn't. I'm up a Steel Splitter. We're tied on drones, but my wall spy is better, and I'm up NGs as well. And he's not killing my Galvanis, which is an interesting line to take. Again, here he loses the same thing, right? Just loses the 3 walls. I can't build Galvani because I'm using all my energy on the ones I have. Okay. So at this point, he's, I think, correct not to kill my Galvanis. He should just attack... Well, if he attacks for 15... What if I attack for 13? 5... 11... 13. He has to lose both engineers. And that costs him a lot in granularity, while it allows me to get out... It sort of lets him... It makes him trade his 2 engineers up into a wall, which is an upgrade, of course. But it lets me produce an extra engineer, which is an equivalently sized upgrade. But I get granularity while he loses it. So I think that this is fine. I think this is an improvement. He's out of walls now. I still have 3 left. I've been building attack. He's been holding drones. I get the occasional exploit in against him for a small tactical advantage. I like my position. I don't know that I'm winning or anything, but it feels all right. I see it. My Galvanis continue to get harvested because he isn't able to actually commit to attacking with enough to kill my engineers. That's nice. So what's going on here? There's an exploit for sure, right? He's losing 5. Okay. Nice. Well, I'm glad we got a win this episode. Interesting. The economy graph is much higher. Like, there's a bigger difference than I expected there to be. Was it those early Oride cores? Surely, like, that can't have been that big a deal, right? I guess also he didn't use Galvani drones very well. Whereas I feel like, despite generally feeling like I'm not great with Galvani drones, I feel like I used them pretty well this game. And I think I did well to here build a steel splitter instead of a wall, realizing that I'm not getting absorb anyway. He's going to attack Galvani drone no matter what I do. And these two Oride cores were nice. Economy sizes are about the same, of course. And he has tempo on the Omegas. But, well, let's see. My Oride cores haven't done anything yet, right? Yeah, because I'm killing Galvani's instead. But then, like here, I get $4 from these Oride cores, which I invested $2 in a while ago. $2 and 2 blue, it must be said. So maybe that's not such a great payoff anyway. But here, another $4. That was all just going to waste. And now it's suddenly like $8 from the Oride cores. It's pretty good, right? And we got like another 2 later. Another 2. Like, that's $12 from these 2 Oride cores. It's not great because it took a really long time to get value, but I think it was okay. I feel like he should have killed... So he was killing my Galvanis for a while. And then suddenly he stopped. I'm not sure why. Yeah, he killed him again here, right? Yeah. No, wait. Oh, yeah, right here he didn't. Yeah, fine. He hasn't had a chance to kill him yet. He kills him. Okay, so here I left the Steel Splitter back. Why was I leaving him back again? To allow me to get out more Steel Splitters rather than have... So he was attacking with his Steel Splitter every turn, which is fine. But notice he was having to triple wall, while I was able to like wall Steel Splitter, or double wall Steel Splitter, or Steel Splitter double wall, or I think I just said the same thing twice, but you know what I mean. I was able to include some Steel Splitters and not just go completely for walls. Now, why was that? Why did I have so much defensive tempo? I think it was these engineers, honestly, that so in a way, when you build a wall, you're paying $5 for a prompt defender of 3 health, right? If you build a Steel Splitter, you're paying 6, and you're getting non-prompt health, which is like clearly worse. It can threaten to attack. But if you need the defense right now, that's not a very good deal, right? But if you just need to like threaten to defend with the Steel Splitter, hold it as insurance so your opponent can't breach, it's sort of like you give yourself 3 health this turn sort of on a loan, right? By holding a Steel Splitter. And you pay yourself back by buying Steel Splitters instead of walls for next turn. Which allows you to threaten more attack while still producing about the same amount of defense. Right, you get defensive tempo this way. And it also enabled me to do this attack for 10, which is uncomfortable for him, having only 1 engineer. Right, he absorbed only 4 on the Omega this turn, so... Clearly clicking the Oride was worth it, having held the Steel Splitter. Was holding the Steel... Like, it gave us $2 for free. Was holding the Steel Splitter correct? Seems okay, is what I can say. Like, in a vacuum, it's slightly worse, I think, than unclicking the Oride, attacking with the Steel Splitter, and building a wall. But it gave us the ability to like then use the Oride Core for this attack here, this little exploit. And so I think it was a good play. I could be wrong though. And he just kept having to hold his drones, and he was clicking his Oride Core like when it didn't really make. I don't know. Like I said at the time, building the Oride Core looked like a mistake. He built it a while ago. So far, it's the first time he's clicked it, and there's like no clear reason to click it, right? 5, 8, 11. In fact, this is great for me. I'm thrilled to lose 2 walls instead of losing wall NG. Or wait, no, an attack for 12 just. So he gives me an NG at the expense, like in order to give himself an NG by clicking this Oride Core. It's a perfectly even trade-off, right? Which is not really what you want, unless there's some reason that your opponent needs the NGs more badly. I guess here his problem was he like can't. If he wants to defend without clicking the Oride Core, he can't even hold this drone back, right? So he has to hold back another Steel Splitter, which is pretty awful. So sure, I guess you click the Oride Core here, but it's sort of like admitting you made a mistake. Wouldn't it have been better to just never build the Oride Core and have $1 lying around? I think so. And then, I mean, at this point, it's basically over. He's out of walls, and he's losing a bunch of stuff pretty soon. I have more Steel Splitters. I have more income. I have wall supply left. Yeah, I think all signs point to me on this game. I'm glad that I saw in advance that the Oride Cores would be useful and found a way to squeeze them in. Let's go back and look at whether like that was a reasonable way to do things. What did I cost myself in order to get the Oride Cores out? The main thing is this, right? I deviated from the normal play here of triple drone, building instead drone Galvani, sort of like taking away my 3rd engineer by devoting him to this Galvani drone, in exchange for getting this Blast Forge out earlier, right? I really only had that 3rd engineer just for long enough to build a Galvani drone. Galvani drone's an interesting unit, right? Like, if you build an energy, I don't know. I should pontificate on Galvani drones later, I guess. We're getting a bit late into the episode, but what the hell? Like, it's already a bit long. If you build an engineer and a Galvani drone on the same turn, it costs 3 and an energy, right? It's a lot like building an ordinary drone, except that, right? And you don't get the energy for anything except the Galvani drone, so it really is like just producing a gold, not producing a gold and an energy. Except that you can defend with the engineer and still have a Galvani drone lying around, which is like not that useful if there's no engineer to power it. But it means that when you later build an engineer, that engineer threatens to transform into a drone in a way, right? The downside of this is that your opponent can attack Galvani drones, of course. But like in a way, if you consider this Galvani drone and this engineer to be a single drone, right? In a way, we talked about how they're sort of like that. Then it's almost as if on turn 3, or turn 2, this engineer I built, it's sort of like a down payment on a drone that I can't quite buy yet, right? Is that a weird way to think about it? Is that useful at all? Because next turn, I complete buying my drone, the 3rd drone I would normally like to buy this turn. And I've spent a 3rd energy last turn, sort of. I don't know. That's not very convincing. It's like, okay, it looks kind of stupid to have built a 3rd engineer and never go triple drone, but drone Galvani is close, and it let me get out the Blast Forge, which I could use to start producing Oride Cores, which I knew would be useful, or hoped anyway. And, you know, getting out these 2 Oride cores, I had to cut a lot of drones to do it. So maybe it wasn't actually worth all that much, right? Here, again, to have access to another blue this coming turn, I had to cut a drone to build a Blast Forge. Would I have done better to just build the drone this turn and build the Blast Forge next turn and have access to more money every turn instead of on the turns when I click the Oride core? Maybe. Maybe this whole thing was just silly. I don't know. I'd be interested to see what a better player thinks about it. It's not clear to me. Like, the Oride cores still feel like kind of good value. I use them to produce a lot of money. But if I built drones, well, I don't know. If I'd like built another drone this turn, okay, let's consider that alternative line. Let's say we believe that the first Oride core was worth it, but the second one isn't. Ah, right. I didn't cut a drone this turn. I can't build one because I'm spending all my energy. So it's really only this turn where building a Galvani instead of a regular drone to get out of Blast Forge hurts. And it hurts for a couple turns, right? Because I get 1 fewer real... Well, at the end of this turn, I have as much income as if I had done this, right? But I have a Blast Forge. And 1 less energy is the downside, right? The Galvani this turn is the reason I couldn't build a drone this turn. After which, of course, it made perfect sense to build an Oride core and a Blast Forge. But I don't know. Cutting 1 drone to build a Galvani and 2 Oride cores is sort of what I did. Sort of. Was that worthwhile? I don't know. Anyway, as I said, it'd be nice to see what an expert player thinks, but I don't know the answer. At least we got 1 win in this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.